Hey everybody, welcome back to yet another episode here at O.A.R. And I know this video is coming out late, but that's because I just didn't have the energy last week to go ahead and make an amazing video. I just started working 12-hour shifts again, and oh, that's change in sleep schedule just ruined me. And that's okay, sometimes it happens. I mean, it's what happens when you were the kid in school who waited to the very last minute to do the school project. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? Anyways, so a lot here in the reptile room is about to change because it's about to become the only reptile room. Well, sort of, kind of. Orion's still going to be in the kitchen until he can go back in here when he starts eating again. But until then, there are quite a few things I need to do. First of all, Poseidon has so many guppy fry in here because he does not eat guppies. Found that out the hard way. So I got about 1,000 guppies. That might be an exaggeration, it might not be. I don't know. I'm not going to take the personal time to count all of those guppies because there is a ton of them. But I got to get rid of some of those. You know, it happens. Another thing I got to do this week is I got to move all the geckos and the ball pythons into this room now. That's right, they're finally coming into this room. Quarantine's done. Brumation done. Which means we're about to get into leopard gecko breeding season. So that's going to be cool. We're going to have to start having babies coming around here again in the next 2-3 months. We'll have little baby geckos again that'll be up for sale. I need to get another breeding rack. I'm just hoping here soon, especially by the end of the year, I want a big breeding rack that's almost going to cover this wall. And that's going to change everything in here too, again. Or it's going to go against where all that stuff is right there. But either way, I want a good breeding rack in here so I can start breeding the ball pythons next year. I want to get another ball python. None of this is for certain, but I want all of this on the table as options and plans for what I'm setting my goals to. And that is going to be good. We need to set goals in life. I mean, you'll never make it anywhere if you do not set goals. You can't just go head first into everything. Well, for now, it definitely ain't the cleanest setup ever, but it'll do for right now. Currently, we do have everyone in here finally, so that means we're off to a good start. And yet somehow the only thing that's happened is Lilith's light went out. I don't know if that's a temporary problem or going to be a permanent problem. If it is permanent, I have another light that I can replace it with. I just have to be really careful with Lilith in there. But that's a good start to everything we need to do this week. So I'm going to hit the hay. Yeah, this was a good start. And we got more work to do. We've set everyone up in the reptile room. We're going to take Pandora here. I'm probably just going to put her on the floor and let her explore. This room is relatively reptile safe. I tend to keep it that way. Or I'm going to just put her around my neck. Either way, what's going to go on now is we're going to finally put some substrate in here. She has eaten one meal in the past that I did not record. And I'm hoping with her on actual substrate, it's going to bring it so she feels more natural, more inclined to eat. Ball pythons are really picky eaters, and it could be a change in anything that's just going to throw them off. But because these guys require such high humidity, I'm going to put her on coconut coir like I do with my other pythons. I'm going to do the same thing with Midas when I have the chance to put him on substrate as well. And Orion will most likely come back in here. As you can see, she is very active. She's very used to being handled. I don't know how often she got handled in her own home, but I tried to handle her at least twice a week. And as you can see, she comes straight out of that ball and she likes to explore. Despite the spider gene in her and the wobble, as you can tell, she's actually pretty dang good about it. Though she does have some of the neurological problems that show. She does tend to go upside down and she's not sure which direction is which. But that's okay. She's still a beautiful girl. And I'm going to just go ahead and put some substrate in here. We'll be right back whenever I get done with that. Now then, this is going to be Pandora's new setup. She's got coconut coir now, so she's no longer on paper. Let's get all that dirt off you. There we go. But as you can see, she's already going back into her hide. It's where she spends most of her day. Well, guys, we were originally going to do Midas's enclosure today, too. But that's going out the window. And I'm going to tell you why. Do not get this brand, the Haven AG coconut core bricks. It has been soaking for an hour, and all that water should have been absorbed by all this. I've been rotating it. I've been doing everything. As you can see, it's just not breaking apart. Pour water on it. All it does is seep right through. This is not a good brick for your reptiles. It's almost mud in here. So, yeah, I straight up wouldn't use this. I'm going to have to buy more coconut coir next week and just get Midas a little late. If I remember correctly, this is the brand I used when I sat outside and did all the breakdown for 2 hours for 3 blocks. Not worth it. Get something else. Get something easier to use. I promise you it'll be more worth it, more time consuming, because that's about half a brick right there, and that ain't even much. And most of it is still a solid chunk. So, instead of trying to break down a ton of coconut coir, what we're going to do is we're going to reintroduce Midas to everyone. You know, we have had a few new followers. And just talk a little bit about him. Yeah, here's a beautiful boy. Where's his head at? There he is. So this is Midas. God, he's got so many things in him, I can't even remember what it is. Fire, coral, spider. I know spider. I want to say inchy, but I can't be certain. Dinker. He's got a lot of more, so I gotta remember what all it is. But Midas here has been a great boy in our care. He was the first of the ball pythons we had to eat. He's the one who I wanted to put on coconut coir more than anyone else because he was finally ready for it. But it turns out we just bought the wrong brand. It happens from time to time. So I wanted to tell you guys about it so you know not to use that brand in the future. Especially if you're doing something like this. You know, if you're doing gardening and you've got a wheelbarrow that you can just sit there and fill with water for endless amounts of time, I guess go for it. I don't have that. I can't afford to do that. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get new coconut coir next week. Midas is just going to get more paper for this week and a little bit of next week. But remember, Midas just came out of his winter shutdown, so he should be feeding again here soon and more frequently. He's kind of on hiatus right now from eating. He ate about 3 weeks ago, and that's to be expected during the winter months because ball pythons naturally stop eating. During this time, they're getting ready to slow down and then go into breeding season, where the females are going to sort of kind of power feed until the last 2 weeks, where they're going to slow down if they're gravid, which in snake terms is pregnant. Or the males here will slow down, go breed, and then he's going to start power feeding again and start preparing for next year's winter shutdown, where he'll gain some weight. But these guys, like I said, naturally will be hiding in a termite burrow, but that's not going to be the only place they'll be, but that is a common place to find them. So it's high humidity, decent amount of heat, not too much, not too little, but that's why it's a good thing that they're in this room with the turtle, because this room puts off so much humidity. It is no joke at all, and that's good for these guys because that means that they can get all the humidity they need and have beautiful sheds in this room without me having to do too much. In fact, we saw Lilith had a pretty decent shed minus her back. Her back was messed up, but as you saw though, Gargoyle had that magnificent shed. Oh, wait, no, you didn't see that. Luckily, I got that saved. So let me go grab that shed real quick so we can show that off real quick, because it is the biggest shed we have ever produced here at O.A.R, or I have ever produced here at O.A.R. As you can see, he is tongue flicking. Tomorrow is feeding day for all these animals. And, well, tomorrow for you guys, not for me. I know I owe you guys for last week not posting a video, but everyone was coming out of brumation this week, and I knew everyone would get fed here soon. So I think Tuesday I'm going to upload a snake feeding or a reptile feeding video. All the reptiles got to get fed, all the geckos, all the snakes, everything like that. Come Saturday. And then, heck, then we could probably do Midas. We can clean some reptiles. We can pull out reptiles. We can talk about them, kind of like we are right now. And we can reintroduce everyone to the animals that come out. So we'll probably do the introduction video, and then we'll do the feeding video on Friday. I don't know yet. I'll keep you guys posted, but I also know that work's about to be a little hectic for us. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to slow down posting. But I still want to get that 50 posts, or those 50 videos out this year that I said to you guys at the beginning of the year, or at some point last month, that I wanted to start doing again. I want to get those 50 posts out. It might take some time. I might not be able to do them every week like I wanted, but we're going to get them regardless. And by goodness, guys, you guys are doing amazing. We're almost at 100 subscribers. We are 9 subscribers. Hey guys, so yes, it is later in the day, as you can tell because of the sky behind me. It is now the middle of the night. I got distracted when I went to go look up the subscribers, and I forgot to say, we're at 92 subscribers, guys. We are 8 subscribers away from reaching that 100 subscriber goal that I wanted to get this year. The other thing, correction, we are 8 subscribers away from reaching 100. That was one of the goals I wanted to do this year, I believe. And if we can do that, that's amazing. That's a big stepping stone. You know, and a lot of YouTubers don't even make it that far. I've almost been doing this a year now, and it'd be so amazing to reach 100. It'd mean a lot to me. But yeah, so we're gonna go get this shed real quick to show you. Hey guys, so yes, it is later in the day, as you can tell because of the sky behind me. It is now the middle of the night. I got distracted when I went to go look up the subscribers, and I forgot. The other thing I forgot to do was show off this big old shed. Let me back up here so you can get it all on camera. And it is long as can be. It is currently touching my ceiling and the floor. My ceiling is 7 feet in this room, which means that Midas now is about 7 feet. And the reason I saved this is because if you look here, there is no eye caps on there. So that means it broke off before the head. And this was the shed that made me clean out his enclosure. So I haven't noticed when I pulled him out earlier and he stuck shed on him. So it's not that. But look at how beautifully long this is. This is the longest shed I currently have, -1. And that is Lilith's shed. Let me go get that real quick. Never mind, I gave away Lilith's longest shed. I just remembered I gave it away for a resin project a buddy of mine was doing. Well, I say buddy, it was an associate that he never got back to me with, so it's a shame that I lost that shed. I really did enjoy that shed. It was her longest shed that I have of hers, and she is my biggest snake, so it was nice to have that. But this is Orion's longest shed, and it is just about as big, and I believe this was one of his more recent sheds. And as you can see, you know, these pythons are about getting to the same size right now. If I overlay these two, as you can see, Orion's just barely sticks out further. So Orion's just a little bit chunkier than when gargoyles shed that. It's a shame. I like to keep the big sheds because these big sheds help prove just how big these snakes are getting, and they're just so fascinating to look at. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. That is going from, wow. Either way, this proves that gargoyle is roughly about 7 feet because of the fact the head is missing. Now, when snakes shed, they stretch out their scales so they can get them off. So the sheds are not an accurate means of measurement. But since he's missing the head on that one, it's going to be a close measurement. So he's about 7 feet long, and he's just such a beautiful boy. Now, he is a beautiful boy. I'm going to go ahead and get him out because I want to talk about him. I love bringing out gargoyle. I don't talk about him enough, in my opinion. As much as I love to show him off, I don't show him off too much. Another reptile that we get to bring back here really soon is going to be Cerberus. I got to do some cleaning in there. He decided to wake up from brumation and shed all over the place. And I don't want to look like a bad keeper, I'm not going to lie. So we're not going to get him out right now. But Cerberus is back, and he'll be showing up in Tuesday's video, regardless of how I produce it. Tuesday's video, we get to bring back apparently a fan favorite. This is the beautiful granite anaconda, or het anaconda, I can't quite remember, Burmese python. He is beautiful. He is a local pickup from Aquatic Critters out in Nashville. He is a gorgeous boy. He is already getting a lot of weight for him, which is no surprise seeing as Burmese pythons are the world's second heaviest snake, which means they are the second biggest snake, because when it comes to scientific terms, biggest comes down to weight. The giraffe might be the tallest animal on the planet, but it is not the biggest animal on the planet, because that goes to the elephant, or the land mammals. Let's get that right. Because of the fact, like I said, science goes on weight. Elephants weigh more than giraffes, despite giraffes being bigger, and it's the same way for anacondas and retics. Even though they're about the same size, they are not, in fact, similar. In fact, reticulated pythons are about as long as saltwater crocodiles are, if not can reach a little bit longer, but you'll never hear a reticulated python being the biggest reptile in the world, or a green anaconda being the biggest reptile in the world, because salties can weigh upwards to, I want to say, a ton. I think they have measured a salty at a ton. I might have to fact check this later. But because of the fact he is the second biggest snake in the planet, he is going to weigh a ton. He is already pushing at least 25 pounds. Granted, he is a little chunky. A lot of my snakes, for some reason, are getting a little chunky, despite me trying to give them diets and make sure they stay at a healthy weight. So if you keep reptiles yourself and know how to keep them from getting a little overweight like these guys are, yeah, you're thick on them. I'd like to know. Now, Lilith is my chunkiest girl, and I can't bring her out because of the fact I am, once again, solo. But that is only in certain spots of her. Other spots of her, she still looks real skinny. So I'd say she's about good. She just needs to go off food for a little bit, but that's okay. But look at that. Absolutely beautiful python right here. Absolutely gorgeous snake. It is a shame that so many places want to ban these guys just because of natural disasters. Really, that's what it comes down to. Don't listen to when the government told you that, oh, we banned Burmese pythons because people were releasing them out into the Florida Everglades. That's not what happened. No, I've talked about this before in the past, and I'll say it one more time. But about 30 years ago, I want to say, I could easily be wrong, a hurricane went through and destroyed a breeding facility, and that's how so many of them got out. These guys are prolific breeders, having upwards of, I want to say, 80 eggs in a single breeding season. So that can quickly increase a population. And if it's a breeding facility, you could have upwards of 20 snakes in there all ready to breed. And due to that, you're not going to have too much interbreeding, even though there will be some still. I believe, I don't know this fact whether or not it's true or not. I haven't looked into it in ages. But I believe I had read somewhere that in order for a population to have minimal interbreeding is to have 16, a population of 16. Now, I don't know how true that is. It could be very wrong. It could be very right.
I looked it up. There is, in fact, a rule for this. Uh, I need to read into it more, but for those of you who are curious and actually want to look into it, is the 50/500 rule. Basically saying that in order for a population to be able to reproduce, there has to be a minimum of 50 animals in order to reproduce, and a minimum of 500 in order for genetic differences to take place without interbreeding after a couple generations. There you go.
But either way, you're talking 20 animals like this producing 80 eggs, and that's your very first year. That's 1,600 eggs right there, and even if half of those survive, that's now 800 snakes that can reproduce and increase that population. That's how the Florida Everglades became infested with these guys. They have no natural predators out there, though they do have crocodilians that want to eat them out there. You know, you got your American alligator, your American crocodile, but you know, you're only going to curb the population so much with that. That's why there's Burmese python hunters out there. But it's still such a shame to see such a beautiful snake being told that I can't sell it in places like Florida or Texas or something like that, let alone Canada. I know Canada bans reticulated pythons of all kinds. I don't know about Burmese off the top of my head. But, beautiful boy. I'd love to get him a girlfriend in the future. But I think all big snake breeding is going to wait till we get a facility of our own if we ever get there. If not, he will be a beautiful member of my collection and will be with me for upwards of another 18 years, if not longer. A lot of snakes in captivity live upwards of 20 years. So this guy, he's going to live until I'm dang near 50. You know, this will be a lifelong pet. And they are just so beautiful, so curious. I mean, you can see the tongue flicks. He is examining everything that's going on. A lot has changed since the last time I brought him out. Even though that was just a few weeks ago when we had to give him a bath so I could change his substrate. Just that little bit was enough. And this is the sweetest boy ever. I mean, it is a real shame. He has never bit anyone. He has never tried to strike anyone. The closest he ever got was biting a snake hook when I forgot to feed him by a day. Yeah, that happened. Oh well, he's a good boy. I'm not too worried about him. It's like all my male snakes are just sweethearts out. Just pure sweethearts. Luckily, unlike my other male snakes, he's an amazing eater. He eats every time like Lilith, and that's what I love. Burmese pythons are just so amazing. To me, personally, this isn't even my favorite. To me, it comes down to the natural ball pythons. And one of the crazy things is in nature, they get almost a caramelized color in some localities. And it's that caramelized natural look that I love the most. But I think I have ranted and raved about these pythons enough, even though he got more screen time than Midas or Pandora. And definitely more than either of the retics right now. I need help over here. I desperately do. Whenever I gotta do anything for these guys, I have to call up buddies who don't want to be on YouTube, who don't want to record, and that's okay. It just means you guys don't get to experience what I get to experience with these massive, massive snakes. I love these massive guys with all my heart, but seeing as this is the guy I can bring out so easily right now, without fret, without fear, until I can afford to pay someone to do the recordings for me. But look at him, just so beautiful. But that's going to be it from us today. I know it's not what the content I wanted to release. It's not the content I had planned to release, but it happens. Especially when you order stuff off Amazon that, you know, you kind of haven't had to order in 3 months. So you forgot about it. You forgot with the quality of it all. Now I know because I'm posting it on YouTube, my actual review of it all. Don't get it. Do not get the Haven AG coconut coir bricks. I bought it because it was the best bang for the buck, but it is not when it comes to time of getting rid of all of that. But, hey, things are going to go great here at the Reptile Zoo, and things are going to go great for you. I don't care what anyone says. Live your dreams, okay? Even if people say your dreams are crazy like mine, even if people say you can't do it, there's always going to be someone out there who says you can. And let me be the one to say you can do it. I mean, I've made it so much further in this than I ever thought I would. I thought I'd get one reticulated python in my life and that'd be it for snakes or anything like that. Now I got a tegu, I got a turtle that I never actually thought I'd have. Not that he's anything special, I just never thought I'd have turtles. I never thought I could take care of them. And he is doing great. His shell rot's not doing any better, but he's doing great. Oh, you're okay, big boy. Yeah, you just exploring. Let's get you off from around the neck. There we go. It's the main thing about these guys. Always redirect them. Anyways, I'm getting off topic again. You can't be doing that. Get out of here, top rabbit hole. Anyways, have faith in yourself. All right? Follow your dreams. Do what you want to do. And always live life to the best you can. Well, that's going to be it for us today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see y'all Tuesday again. Bye.